welcome back. I'm Statman Dave. Today, we're going to be answering the question, is Youri Tielemans the ideal upgrade to Granit Xhaka for Arsenal in central midfield? Of course, check out SofaScore in the link in the description below. Like that goddamn video. But anyway, time to dive in. So Arsenal, obviously, there's a lot of talk around their summer moves, their summer signings, who do they need to bring in. I think there's still a hole at number 9. I think there's a potential upgrade in central midfield that could be done to add a bit of depth to the squad. I think one of the big things with Arsenal, when you look at their squad, it's still a little bit bare. I think we've seen that with the injury to Thomas Partey, who comes in, who steps up. With all the outgoings, you'd expect that as well. A lot of players have left Arsenal Football Club within the last 12 months. And I think, we reflect on them in being good moves for Arsenal to let them go. I think Nicolas Pepe may be another one that needs to be let go. Maybe let Lacazette go as well. Eddie Nketiah's had a fine end to the season, so maybe it's potentially worth giving him another deal, considering he's 22 and he's come through the academy, and you always want to keep those types of players together. But I think Arsenal are, in terms of the setup and the team, when we're looking at that, of course, a new number 9 probably needs to come in, a goal scorer, either a player that they can play to feet and build around, or a false 9 that can drop off the line and allow Martinelli and Saka to take up those positions. But I also think in left central midfield, Granit Xhaka could be a player to be upgraded. Elneny's actually come in and done really well in Thomas Partey's position, so maybe a DM is not needed. Of course, Elneny is set to leave Arsenal at the end of the year if they don't sign him with a new contract. But the reports coming out today is that Elneny will be offered a new deal. But more interestingly, Arsenal are targeting Youri Tielemans. Youri Tielemans is a player that is heading to the final 12 months of his contract at the King Power Stadium, and Arsenal are thought to be in favour of bringing the former Monaco man to the Emirates. Obviously, the contractual situation will mean Arsenal will be able to get Youri Tielemans on a cheaper deal. And I think it's an interesting one to discuss. I really think this would be a fantastic signing for Arsenal Football Club. Not only would it allow Arsenal to continue with their development of signing relatively younger players. Tielemans is going to be, around 25, 26 when he ends his contract at Leicester if Arsenal bring him in. I think he'd be the ideal upgrade to Granit Xhaka. When we're looking at Arsenal's team, Granit Xhaka's obviously provided a really good role lately, where he's been joining the attacking midfield line from defensive midfield and allowing the fullbacks to play inside and providing some quality. I know Granit Xhaka's got that tendency to shoot from range, he's got good ability there, but I feel Youri Tielemans could really upgrade the side. Not only Granit Xhaka has been using that position, obviously, if, let's say Nuno Tavares is playing and is playing a little bit higher the winger, Martinelli slightly inside, Granit Xhaka has been involved in the build-up. And that's where I feel Youri Tielemans could come in and do an absolutely sensational job for Arsenal. Sitting in that, either that left half space deep area like he does for Leicester City, or alternatively, I think where he'll actually benefit is from playing higher, with a Kieran Tierney in the side, where he can become the inside left player with Martin Odegaard on the other side. Again, Granit Xhaka's been good for Arsenal under Arteta this season, but there is always errors. There's always red cards in his game, which for me makes him a little bit of a liability over a 38-game season. I think Tielemans is a similar player in terms of a playmaking midfielder. Granit Xhaka likes to get on the ball, likes to play those progressive passes, but I think Tielemans is more of a two-way midfielder than Granit Xhaka. And he's thrived in both a double pivot and, of course, an 8 in a 4-3-3, which for me is Leicester City's best shape. It's kind of what Arsenal are moving to under Mikel Arteta. Amongst Leicester City players this season, Youri Tielemans ranks first for progressive passes, first for passes into the final third, but more importantly, first for pressures, which I think that's what we talk about two-way midfielders. Tielemans is going to squeeze high, but he's going to get on the ball and play through. It's kind of that duality that you want from your central midfielder. You want them to go out there and win the ball back. Then when they're in possession, you want them to be playing passes into the final third. You want them to be linking with the 9. You want to be sliding people into the box. Youri Tielemans has all of that. On top of that, he's ranked second amongst the Leicester squad for chances created, and third for tackles plus interceptions, ball recoveries, shot taken, and goals scored. I think that gives a good profile of where Youri Tielemans could fit in this Arsenal team. And also, I think it takes a little bit of the creative responsibility off Odegaard. I think at the moment, Odegaard is very much that link man in the final third. He creates chances in that central area. Of course, Saka does provide a lot of quality on the left, on the right-hand side to do that. But I mean, centrally, a lot of it comes from Odegaard. I also think from a side of, linking with Saka, Tielemans' passing range is good. That switch from left to right to Saka to create a 1v1 situation could be very helpful. But it makes a lot of sense, Arsenal looking at someone like Youri Tielemans, not only in terms of the deal, you're going to get a decent deal from Youri Tielemans, considering that the contract situation, but also you're going to get a player that is still very young in his position. At 25, I'd still count him as a youngish central midfielder that can be moulded, and it fits the likes of Odegaard's age, the likes of Ben White, Gabriel's age. And that's one of the best things Arsenal are doing. It's creating that little pocket of players that are all around the same age, are all going to go through. When you look at the average age of the youngest 11s in the Premier League this season, Arsenal have got 18 out of the 20 youngest 11s in the league, which kind of shows that side of the football. As we previously mentioned, tackles plus interceptions at 2.8, very decent from a central midfielder. Most pressures in the Leicester City squad, top for passes into the final third, and he's taking 68 touches per game. In terms of standout performances this season for Youri Tielemans, you'd probably say maybe the game against Brighton in central midfield. And against Manchester United, actually, he was very, very good. This time playing in a 4-4-2 gives Mikel Arteta that ability to play a two-man pairing, knowing that his central midfielder will, be able to win the ball back with tackles and interceptions. 3 tackles in this game against United, 2 interceptions, 1 assist in the game as well. Really nice ball. I think that's the side where you're going to get Youri Tielemans to perform. It's that kind of duality of it that obviously Granit Xhaka has, but as we mentioned, it's that problem that you could lose him in one of the games if you continue to play through. And Youri Tielemans is got so much experience. You think at Anderlecht he started at 16, then to Monaco, then to Leicester City, now to Arsenal would be a great stepping stone for him to improve. Not only himself, but the football club. And it gives Arsenal that dynamic element, I think, in midfield, that real quality in midfield. And when you think, of best midfields in the league, Partey, Tielemans and Odegaard would be up there. And that's exactly what Arteta could do if he wants to upgrade Granit Xhaka, which is what's being reported by David Ornstein. And as, any Arsenal fan will know, David Ornstein has got a really good line into the football club. So I think this is something that will potentially happen over the summer. Really exciting for Arsenal. That a club that's slowly building itself back up in a very, very smart way. Big, you've got to give a lot of praise to Arteta's coaching, but the team behind there, the likes of Edu, these are the right types of players that you're bringing in. It really is. And, it's going to build for an exciting Premier League in the 22-23 season. Arsenal back up the top. Guys, get into the comments. Would Youri Tielemans be the best Granit Xhaka upgrade? Or suggest some other names for me down below. I've been Statman Dave. Subscribe if you're new. See you later.